Good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. James Preen with EFI again, bringing you a quick video on a very little used feature inside Command Workstation that I have found is very helpful in a lot of different ways. But in particular, I want to focus on one part of this feature. You got a lot of customers out there who need a way at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, maybe at the end of the quarter, to look at what jobs they ran for accounting reasons. Now, obviously, there's all kinds of accounting stuff that you can sell, Printsmith, some other MIS systems to do this for you. But in a lot of the small print shops, commercial printers, print for pay, even implants, CRDs, they might just have a manual method of billing back or tracking jobs, and they're not ready to spend the kind of money required to get into those systems, but they still have the same need. So I just want to show you real quick how to use job logs to do that. So inside Command Workstation that you can see right here, there's the logs, and the logs captures everything about printing to the Fiery. And there's different columns in the logs that you can add or take away. So for instance, if I right click right here on this column, I can add these other specific items that I want to track. Okay. Likewise, I can also delete. If I click on a column and I don't want a certain column in here, I can delete it. Now, I'm going to show you how I added this column right here called Notes 1. And the reason why is I want to show you how you could utilize the notes field, or even if I wanted to add an instruction field. See where it says instructions? I can add these fields, and at the time that I am printing a job, let's go to this one right here. If I double click or right click and go to properties, under my job info, under notes, because I have that column added to my view, I could say this printing is for ABC Company. And if I'm doing a lot of printing for this ABC company, I could simply, before I print, I could add that right into the notes, and then when it prints this, it will show up in my logs as printed, and it'll have that note in that field. All right, you can see right here, ABC company. Well, what do I do with that now, James? Big deal. Well, first thing is I can export this entire job log. And I can do it by a date range. So let's say I want to export from, let's go back a little further so it looks a little busy. Let's say the 12th to today. Boom. I can export this. And let's say current view, because I'm doing the date range. Let's just call it job log, and let's put it on the desktop. Now what that does for me is that creates a CSV, but now I can open that CSV with Excel, and now I can filter out those columns. And if I'm looking for only jobs that I printed on a certain date, or a job that I printed for a certain client, because I put the client's name in my notes field, I will have all these details. I'll know what the name of the file was. Here's the job title, right? Whether it was actually printed, who printed it, the number of pages, the total number of pages printed right here. And then what you can do in your Excel is you can create what I did. Let me bounce back over to my main screen here. You can create your own spreadsheet. Okay, there it is. There's my log. And then I can filter it. And maybe I want to filter it by who I printed for. I don't want to see everybody. I only want to see the stuff I printed for human resources. There's all the jobs I printed for them. And by the way, I just put over here in these columns, let me clear that. You can see I put media cost. Maybe you want to add a column called, labor hours or whatever. And you can set up an Excel calibration, or excuse me, a calculation that gives you the total cost to print those jobs. And as you're filtering the jobs, like I was doing right here, as I'm filtering these jobs, it will tell me how much it costs to print jobs for human resources right there. Okay, so this is a little bit more labor intense than buying, Printsmith, who's tracking everything for you. But cheap man's way of accounting, you could use the job log feature in your command workstation to export the details about jobs that you printed, and then do a little fancy work in Excel, and you've got your accounting for printing for the month or a week or day or however you want to track it. So just a little bit more information about what makes Fiery very powerful. There are a lot of tools inside the Fiery that you can use, and you should be using that as a part of your sales approach for why buy a Fiery, is all these free things that are in there that a customer can use. So that's it. Have a great day. Thanks. Talk to you soon.